Here.
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 Adequate notice of this meeting has been provided by the following means. Annual notice was sent to the Record newspaper, Township Clerk, and posted in the lobby of the Town Hall and Board office, setting forthcoming scheduled work meetings and public meetings of the Board. Okay, we have an announcement that I'd like to put out there. The terms of school trustees Chris Andronopoulos, Elaine Stella, and Michael Galvano will expire 2019, and all of them are for 3 years, will be filled on Tuesday, November 4th, 2025. Poll will be 6 to 8 months. If anybody would like to join us, we're happy to have you.
Come on, yell that.
Okay, motion for approval of minutes.
Make motion. Second.
Roll call, Mr. Abate.
4.
Mr. Andronopoulos. Mr. Giarrusso.
4.
Ms. Passanano.
4.
Mr. Petronzio.
4.
Dr. Scardino. 4. Ms. Stella.
4.
Mr. Galvano. 4. Motion carries. Next, okay, need a motion for meeting number 6 from April 10th, 2025.
Make a motion.
Second.
Roll call, Mr. Abate.
4.
Mr. Andronopoulos.
4.
Mr. Giarrusso.
4.
Ms. Passanano.
4.
Mr. Petronzio.
4.
Dr. Scardino. 4. Ms. Stella.
4.
And Mr. Galvano.
4.
Motion carries. As always, we're always happy to have our student representative report. Our good friend Drew Bank.
Good evening to all, and thank you for joining us here tonight. The World Language Honor Society induction took place on April 3rd, with 41 new members being inducted, 34 into the National Spanish Honor Society and 7 into the National Italian Honor Society, respectively. The annual Lyndhurst High School Spring Concert took place on April 16th at 7 p.m. on the middle school stage. Snacks and beverages were sold during intermission by members of the Lyndhurst Music Association. Congrats to all who performed. The Spring Poetry Slam took place on April 18th during the first half of the single session day. The slam was led by Journalism and English 2 honors teacher Miss Pastor and English supervisor Miss Klein, and included 33 poets and 11 featured photographers. During the second half of the day, a pep rally was held outside commemorating the winter and spring sports. The event recognized the accomplishments of the winter sports teams while encouraging students to support the current spring sports teams. Looking forward next week, the annual Academic Awards Dinner will be held on May 5th at the Fiesta and will include guest speaker Dr. F.A. Ostork. This concludes my report. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Always wonderful. Really appreciate it. State Monitor's report, Mr. Jones.
Yes. I have reviewed the financial reports for the month ending of March 2025 and support tonight's resolution that certifies that there are sufficient funds available based on the March financials to meet the district's financial obligations for the remainder of the 2024-2025 school year. I have also reviewed and discussed the resolutions on tonight's agenda with Mr. DeCorso and support his recommendations to the board that they approve all of the resolutions on tonight's agenda. That concludes my report for this evening. Thank you.
Thank you. As far as my report, I don't have one specific agenda, I always want to thank the public when they come out. We do appreciate you being here for whatever reason, and particularly when we celebrate students. I say this every time we do this. This job comes with challenges, but it also comes with incredible opportunity to hopefully mold and shape our district to greater heights. And when we honor students, this is the high. This is what it's all about. So we really appreciate everyone being here. I'll now turn it over to the superintendent's report, Mr. DeCorso.
Thank you, Dr. Scardino. I, too, love honoring
and highlighting our students' successes, because we have students that excel in so many different areas. So we have some recognitions to do tonight, which I'm going to do with some of our faculty. But before I do, I just want to review a couple of items and just mention sometimes when we have our students recognized, they don't want to stay for the whole meeting. Please know you're more than welcome to stay for the entire meeting and go through board business. But after we give the last student awards, if you did want to step away, that would be the time to do it, because then we'll get into official board business. I just like to say that. So before we do the awards, I just want to remind everyone that the district will be closed May 22nd, 23rd, and 27th. That is because we did not use all of our snow days. We didn't use any snow days, actually, and so we have 3 days to give back. So we always typically give them back around the Memorial Day weekend, and we're doing that again. So I just wanted to remind everyone of that. And then I also just wanted to mention that we originally had scheduled tonight a budget hearing. And so unfortunately, to no fault of ours, the state recommended that we push our budget hearing to May 6th because we're still waiting on some news from the state and approvals. So without getting those approvals, we can't formally approve our budget. So if you came tonight to hear the budget hearing, I did put out an email to the entire district explaining that we are still waiting for that state approval before we can officially go through our budget. So if you're interested in hearing our budget, or you came tonight and you didn't get the email, I apologize. But Tuesday, May 6th, next Tuesday, we're going to have our budget hearing at 6 p.m. Myself and Mr. Hyman will go through our entire 25-26 budget. And so if you came again to speak to that, if you did want to speak to that, you still can. That, since it's no longer an agenda item, you would have to sign up for non-agenda items in our book if you want to speak tonight. So barring that, I'm going to step down, and we're going to recognize some of our students. Okay, so give me 1 second. Thank you. Okay. I'm going to start by calling two of our high school faculty members up, Mr. Mark Petrozzulo and Ms. Maru, who are going to present an award to one of our students.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for allowing us this opportunity to present this award. I know this has been a collaboration between the high school and the Lyndhurst Public Library. I just want to say thank you to Donna Romeo, the Lyndhurst Public Library Director. We also have one of our board members, Francine DeBellis, here. And also up on the state, or right on this front here, we have Mr. Mark Petrozzulo. Without his help, we wouldn't have been able to do this logo contest at all. So we are happy to present this award to Aiden Meyer. Aiden, we are congratulating you for winning the logo contest with the Lyndhurst Public Library, and we are very proud of all the work you've done. You put so much work into that logo, and we're very, very happy to be presenting this to you tonight. So if you want to come up and grab your award.
She's not technically family. I don't have to.
And Aiden, I got you a little sketchbook to create your next great design, and many more to come.
Thank you very much.
So that's a tremendous honor because that logo now will be the official logo of the library, and I know there was a lot of submissions, so congratulations, Aiden. I would next like to honor some of our choir students. It always impresses me how well our musically inclined students do outside of Lyndhurst, whether it be throughout the county or throughout the state. Our students, particularly with our choral program, but also our instrumental, always do well throughout the state and county. And so I have some students that I would like to recognize tonight for the region choir, intermediate region choir. So I'll call each student up if you want. You can come and line up, and then you can come down and take pictures. I'm going to start with Jade. Marianne. Gianna. Fanta. Madeline Morales. Madeline Schwarzer. Close? No? And Aubrey. So if you want to come down and take pictures, you're more than welcome. Thank you so much for coming out, and congratulations again to all of our students. You're welcome.
So there's none, right? So I can announce that there's none?
Yeah, no,
Okay.
no one for public.
So our next item is public to be heard on agenda items only. We don't have anybody down for that. So I'm going to open up to the board discussion and formal business agenda. Finance, right?
Pursuant to the recommendation of the Superintendent of Schools, the Committee on Finance recommends the following resolutions be moved forward for a roll call vote. I make a motion to move forward Finance Resolutions 1 through 14 to be adopted.
Roll call, Roll call, Mr. Abate.
4.
Mr. Andronopoulos. 4. Mr. Giarusso.
4.
Ms. Passamano.
4.
Mr. Petronzio.
4.
Dr. Scardino.
4.
Ms. Stella.
4.
And Mr. Valvano. 4. Motion carries.
Education and curriculum, Ms. Passamano.
Pursuant to the recommendation of the Superintendent of Schools, the Committee on Education and Curriculum recommends the following resolutions be moved forward for a roll call vote. I make a motion to move forward Education and Curriculum, Resolutions 1 through 6.
Second.
7 to be adopted.
Second.
Second,
Wait,
Ms.
seven.
Stella.
No.
Roll call, Mr. Abate?
Second.
Four.
Mr. Andronopoulos?
4.
Mr. Giarusso?
4.
Ms. Passamano?
4.
Mr. Petronzio?
4.
Dr. Scardino?
4.
Ms. Stella?
4.
And Mr. Valvano?
4.
Motion carries.
Policies and rules and regulations, Ms. Stella.
Pursuant to the recommendation of the Superintendent of Schools, the Committee on Policies and Rules and Regulations recommends the following resolutions be moved forward for a roll call vote. I make a motion to move forward policies and rules and regulations 1 through 3 to be adopted.
Second.
Sorry, who was the second? Thank you. Roll call, Mr. Abate?
4.
Mr. Andronopoulos? Mr. Giarusso?
4.
Ms. Passamano?
4.
Mr. Petronzio?
4.
Dr. Scardino?
4.
Ms. Stella?
4.
And Mr. Valvano?
4.
Motion carries.
Athletics and student activities, Mr. Passamano's not here, so I will do it. Pursuant of the recommendation of the Superintendent of Schools, the Committee on Athletics and Student Activities recommends the following resolutions to be moved forward for a roll call vote. I make a motion to move forward athletic and student activity resolution 1.
Second.
Second, Mr. Abate. Roll call, Mr. Abate.
4.
Mr. Andronopoulos.
4.
Mr. Giarusso.
4.
Ms. Passamano.
4.
Mr. Petronzio.
4.
Dr. Scardino.
4.
Ms. Stella.
4.
And Mr. Valvano.
4.
Motion carries. Personnel.
Personnel, Mr. Valvano.
Pursuant to the recommendations of the Superintendent of Schools, the Committee on Personnel recommends the following resolutions be move forward for a roll call vote. I make a motion to move forward personnel resolutions M.
Second, Chris. Mr. Andronopoulos. Roll call, Mr. Abate.
4.
Mr. Andronopoulos.
4.
Mr. Giarusso.
4.
Ms. Passamano.
4.
Mr. Petronzio.
4.
Dr. Scardino.
4.
Ms. Stella.
4.
And Mr. Valvano.
I vote yes on everything but no on number 5.
Number 5.
I don't believe that we should be cutting any staff.
Okay, motion carries. Non-agenda.
Okay, we're going to do non-agenda items.
Daniel Parada.
Mr. Daniel Parada.
That's it. We're supposed to do new business.
There's a big, if you hold down that big gray button, it should.
I don't know.
I got it. The question I have is this. Last meeting, you voted on proposing to the state of New Jersey, which you just said you're going to do it on May 6th. You asked for $7 million. Why did you ask for $7 million, number one? Number two, the township and the taxpayers built the school you're sitting in right now, okay, which put a tax burden on every one of the taxpayers in this town, okay? We all were just reassessed, so we're going up again. So if you do your $7 million that you want to get and Phil Murphy decides to give it to you, it's going to be a $1,500 increase on every house, okay? There's people in this town that are all elderly and have time making ends meet. It's hard for them. How could the school board, every one of you, vote to ask for $7 million? That's the audacity of you to even do that. I can't believe that you would actually do that. Stop spending. That's what it comes down to. Stop spending. And if you want to start getting rid of people, I'm very proud of you, Michael, that you didn't want to lay anybody off. About time somebody stepped up. Stop laying people off. The teachers, we need them and all that stuff, number one. And number two, and if you are going to lay off, do we need other assistants and all this stuff? That's crap. Mr. Demikoff, I'm making an appeal to you because the board made an appeal to the state for $7 million. I, as a taxpayer, am making an appeal to you. I want a full state takeover of the Lyndhurst Board of Education. I want Phil Murphy to come in here and take over the whole board and over the whole school system and get this town ready and moving and in the right position and ways of going. It's disgusting. It's disgusting. The audacity to ask for $7 million on top after you just got a school, and they even gave you $1.2 million for your football field. The taxpayers paid for that.
So, the public portion of the meeting is really a comment and not meant for dialogue back and forth. But with that, I'll address some of the points that Mr. Parada brought up. So just to explain the tax levy incentive program, so the state of New Jersey, we submit our annual budgets to the state of New Jersey. And with that, the state also gives us state aid money. Okay, so a lot of our budget is contingent upon state aid money. Okay, we get around a little over $5 million in state aid. After we submitted, or right before we submitted our budget, I should say, we got figures back that the state cut our aid. Okay, they cut our aid at roughly $180,000. We would have gotten cut over close to $1 million in state aid. We did not because the state capped the reductions at 3%. Okay? And so the reason the state capped, or the reason they reduced our aid is because they said that our township tax levy versus assessed values are not at adequacy. And what that means is our tax levy is based on $44 million here in Lyndhurst. Like Mr. Parada said, over the last several years, the property values in Lyndhurst have soared, which is a good thing for the community. The properties and values in Lyndhurst are almost $60 million. There's a discrepancy of about $12.9 million where our tax levy is $12.9 million off of our assessed values. The state is going to continue to cut our aid until we fix the problem. Okay? So that means if the state did not put a 3% cap on its cut to us this year, we would have lost almost $1 million. And I agree with you, Mr. Parada. We do not want to raise taxes in this town. But please note, and everyone should realize, that this board could have applied for $12.9 million. We are underfunded by $12.9 million. Okay? We lost aid because of it, and we're going to continue to lose aid because of it. So the state came up with this tax levy incentive program. In order to be responsible to the taxpayer in this town, okay, we only applied for 7.3. And one of the reasons we can't have the budget hearing tonight is we submitted a modified application. We have not heard back from the state of what they're going to finally accept, okay? You mentioned the middle school. The township built us a beautiful building, but unfortunately, with the operating, when the township handed over the building, no one budgeted for operating costs. So when this middle school was open, we had to add 7 custodians. Okay, 7 custodians due to the square footage of this building. That was not part of the plan. We had to add teachers when we opened this middle school. That was not accounted for. All those things hit our budget. Okay, so it's been difficult to balance the budget. I'll note that the district last year for this current year cut 7 faculty. But you're right, Mr. Parada, we can't have it both ways. We can't not cut faculty and not raise costs. Our tax levies are capped in this state at 2%, which really was what led to the widening of this gap. There's a lot of people that are pointing fingers. There's really no fingers to be pointed here. If a state caps a budget at a 2% increase and property values are raising at 5x or 6x, the discrepancy just continues to widen, and the state will not fund us until we correct that. So that is the reason for that. But this district has been suffering the last several years. The last thing this board and I want to do is cut faculty. For this current year budget, we cut for 7 faculty, which is raising class size numbers in this district. For this next year's budget, there's more proposed faculty cuts because we're trying to do the right thing and balance the budget. And you're right, Mr. Parada, we hadn't had a football field. I was superintendent for a few months, and I was presented with a 10-foot gaping hole in our turf that was not prepared for. So what was I going to do? Have students play on a field with a 10-foot gap and no money in capital reserve to repair the field? So you're right. The town did us a tremendous favor, and they bonded that money for us because we did not have $1.2 million to fix the field. So I thank the town for that. And we finance, so the town financed that bond, and we pay the town back for that bond. We could never have replaced that field. So this board was faced with bond the money for the township or close the high school football field. So I understand your frustration, and this board is frustrated as well. But unfortunately, the state has backed us into a corner, and we will not get more state aid until we fix the problem. And this board could have went out for $12.9 million. And there's many districts, if you Google it, Google tax levy incentive program, there's districts that are raising their tax levy 30 and 35%. We're looking to be under 10%. And Mr. Parada, I believe your figures are very wrong because we ran our numbers and they're nowhere near a $1,500 increase. So that's inaccurate as well. And so those are just some of the things that this board has been faced with, and we're doing everything in our power to correct them. But the district is still behind. We've replaced boilers in many of the buildings. We still need to replace the high school boilers. $1 million for high school boilers. The roof at the high school is leaking currently in parts of the building. We don't have the money to fix and repair that, okay, over the auditorium. We're lucky it's in an area where students really don't access and we can close, okay? Jefferson windows. I can go on and on about upgrades that we have in with this money. So this money is going to go directly back into our district, directly back into our students, and directly back into programs. And we're with you, Mr. Parada. We do not want to raise taxes in this town. But unfortunately, I believe, and I don't want to talk out of turn, but the state really did this on purpose in a way to try to fix the 2% cap levy that's been around for quite some time. So think about it, okay? It's basic math, okay? How can we raise our budget 2% a year when health insurance is going up 18%? Electricity next year, estimates 19%. So you tell me how this board and how we can balance a budget with almost 20% increases at a 2% increase. The math doesn't work. And so this is the opportunity, and this is not a back and forth, okay, but I answered your question, and so...
Well, why don't you regionalize then? But the problem is North Arlington and
Respectfully,
Rutherford
sir.
have blue ribbons.
Public comments,
It's
it's
public
not a back
comment.
and forth. This is just a ability to express comments.
Okay,
and
well,
your
then
time-
I would suggest that Lyndhurst
Sir,
possibly regionalize with
Okay.
North Arlington,
Thank you
but
for
guess
your
what?
comments,
They
sir.
don't want us because we got a stigma against us.
That's a suggestion, and we'll take that into account. Thank you for your comment. I don't believe we have any other public comment. Thank you.
can you first please come down to the mic? Just, we need your name on the record for the comments, please, and to sign in. Thank you.
We know who you are.
Yeah. So we could put Tracy Corin down. I heard your question officially, so I could respond. You don't have to repeat it. The answer to that is yes. I don't want to speak for the town, but we did have conversations with the town, and I'll leave it at that. We have had conversations with the town on 2 different occasions.
Tracy, as you know, right, so things get out, and then they continue to move. It's hard to comment on things that we're not really sure what's going to happen. And just for clarity, and I want it for the board, and it's not, I'm not trying to make excuses, but all of this sort of was pushed upon us in a very short window, as you know, at that first meeting that we had. And so I think the diligence is there. I think the compromises are there, as far as I see it. So the hope is that when we talk about the budget next week, and whatever number, because we don't know. We have an idea. We hope. And I will just tell you that the team in the district has done a great job breaking down at each point what each tax ramification would be and how much it is. And I will say, a lot of people on the board have, you're torn with this, right? We're taxpayers too. But our charge is not that it's not to the taxpayer, but our primary charge is to the children and the school district. And anything we could do to make it better is our charge, and that's the hope that we can do. And let's hope that conversation next week goes in that direction.
Thank you.
Motion to adjourn?
A new business?
Oh, new business, that's right. I'm sorry, new business? I thought there was one.